No, io sto qua, a destra. Ok? Sì, sì, sì. Possiamo? Eh, okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for the next content. And where we are about to dive into a really unique session where we will gain exclusive insights into one of the most important events of the year. I'm talking about Paris 2024 Olympic and Paralympic Games. So welcome to 27 Minutes, a format which 27 names brings us today. Thank you. Some more. Many of you know that 27 Name is the community of Europe best independent live experience agencies, and exists since 2008. It was formed really at BEA, where all the agencies coming from Europe at that time gathered, and so the idea was found at that time. And many member agencies are at the top of the BEA World ranking, like Magic Garden, for example, from Paris. And thanks to Beatrix Mourier, who is the founder of Magic Garden, we can welcome a very special guest here today. 27M is all about inspiration, and the next 27 minutes will be exactly that. So 27 minutes will take us behind the scenes of the Olympic opening ceremonies with Thierry Reboul, the Executive Director for Creative Branding and Ceremonies. Welcome, Thierry. A big applause. Please come. And Thierry, come on stage. Don't be shy. He's a shy guy, okay? Yes, Thierry, welcome here at Bear World. He's a longtime friend of Bear World and has been recognized on this very stage with several remarkable production and awards, including Tony Parker's jersey on the Statue of Liberty, the zip-line installation Tour Eiffel, and the dramatic destruction of XSAGA bus for the football World Championship game in 2008. We were forgotten. And today we will dive, as I was saying, into the massive production behind the opening ceremonies of the Olympic and Paralympic Games in Paris. And beside Thierry, I want also to invite Patrick Roubroeks from XSAGA. He is the founder and creative director of XSAGA. But before starting our conversation, please, let's see a video that is prepared. You can sit, you can stand up as you prefer. I will sit. Wow. Wow, impressive, impressive. That's great. So, welcome Thierry and Patrick. The pronunciation of your surname was
Perfect.
terrible. I think that the correct pronunciation is Roubroeks.
It's okay.
Something like this, I guess. With Thierry is more easier. So, it's an honor, a privilege to have you here today, Thierry, because, I mean, this event is really a game changer in our industry and in the way the opening or closing Olympic ceremonies were done before. So I would like to start this conversation with a question. I'm the founder and a journalist too, but the most important thing that's I appreciated in this event is that you totally changed the approach. You decided to take the ceremony out of the stadium and to produce it in the town, used as a big stage, no? Which was a great promotion for Paris and France. So the question is, what inspired you to make that choice? And was it easy to be accepted by the commitment?
Um, Hello, first. Thank you for this welcoming. Um, how can I say? I have a disease.
Really?
Yes, I am not able to do the same things than the others. Even at the restaurant, when someone takes someone I want to take, I change. So this is something I am trying to
Yes.
do.
Collier Dance before said that we are living the age of average. So this is an important sign. No? Sorry if I
So
interrupt you.
this is something I cannot do something else. So when I arrived to the games, I mean the chairman of the games, he just told me I want to do something totally different with the games before, and I knew that concerning the opening ceremony, which is of course the starting point and let's say the main audience, is that I wanted to be in the city. I knew also that some games before, like Rio, for example, they tried to do something in the city, but for several reasons, they didn't be able to achieve it. So this time, starting since day one, and we are talking about, I arrived at the games in 2018, so I had six years to convince that we have to be in the city. That's the first thing. The second thing is that when you decide to try to be inside the city, because to answer your second question, no, this is not so easy. At the beginning, everybody was against. I mean, and mainly the authorities and the police department. I remember the first time I showed them the project. I mean, I can tell you they were not very happy. But I mean, we knew that to be inside the city was not enough. And in fact, I was looking for something where we didn't do anything. And of course, a few weeks later, I was walking close to the river, and I said, of course, I'm stupid. I mean, it has to be there. I mean, it has to be on this river, which is, of course, in the middle of our city. So I was convinced since day one that we need to be there. After these 6 years to achieve that, it's not too much, because you have a lot of things to do to convince all of the people that doesn't want you to be there, and mainly, of course, the authorities. We had a lot of resistance, but I mean, we never give up. And every time we were still focused on this project. And to be honest, I think the best thing perhaps we have done is that we didn't have any plan B. So, and
That's good.
because if we had a plan B, I can tell you that we would have finished at the plan B.
Sure.
But if everybody knows that you don't have any time anymore or any plan B, I mean, you're going for plan A.
That's good.
One question, because we are now stepping into the event itself. Everybody saw it on television, we all liked it. I think what Salvatore also stated, it's not average, it was original, it was authentic, and it was really French. But 6 years before, there was somebody on the telephone and asked you, Thierry, are you in if we are going to do the games? How did you sleep that night?
Honestly, very well.
Yes, very
because
well.
I did, because I didn't imagine what's gonna come.
Yes.
So I was okay. I just have something in mind. Yeah, I had my company, my event agency at this time, but I knew that if I would have said no, I will have regrets for life.
Yes.
So it was quite easy. I decided to sell my company perhaps in 15 minutes.
Yes.
I don't know if it's
Yes.
a good thing or not, but I mean,
It was before COVID, so that's a good choice.
no, that was easy. Honestly, I cannot tell you that I slept very well all the nights after. That's clear, but I mean, this one was okay.
Another question. That's the reason why I want to go back for 6 years, because okay, you slept right. Maybe you took a bottle of champagne before going to sleep. But how do you start? Because in this hall there are all event producers, creative directors, people who want to learn how to cope with these kinds of things to come up. So you thought, I need a director, I need a producer. Where do you start?
I start with the creation, of course.
Yeah.
I started asking myself what would be the good artistic director for that.
Yes.
I knew that in this field also I had to do something different. I came to see several film directors, as London did, for example, with Danny Boyle. But I knew that it was probably not the right approach. Yeah. I mean, the concept was there. We had 12 kilometers of the river to
both
fill
sides.
in
It was 6
on
kilometers.
both sides.
So that's why you mentioned
6 kilometers 2 times, and I knew it was just a pure live experience.
Yeah.
And I heard about this artistic director, whose name, of course, is Thomas Joly, and I have just seen that in his theater, because he was ruling a theater in Angers. He has made a Shakespeare, yes, but with the people 24 hours in the theater. So, oh, this guy must be interesting.
It's different. It's authentic.
If you do 24-hour Shakespeare, I mean, you should have something.
Yes, at least it's not average.
Yes, so I went to see him, and it was a, I don't know, a live meeting.
You connected.
I mean, yes, we were totally connected, and we did. And then we spent months on the creation together, yes. Just to be able to try to get as much ambition as we could. And this, it has finished to those 12, it's kind of 12 Super Bowls.
Yes,
because
sure.
Each of them was more or less at the same level than a Super Bowl.
Yeah, what the people should know is that not only the opening show of the Olympics and the Paralympic Games, the torch song relay, every event, and the total brand experience of the Olympics were under his chairmanship, so to say. You had a team, you started with one, then you had 10, and you ended up at the end in Paris, next to the Seine rivers. How many people?
On the creation field, something around 10 to 12. And of course, after we had the agencies to rule the production, the executive production, they are here. There were the agencies. There were something like 250 at the end. And if you want another figure, the D-Day of the opening ceremony of the games, the total team, excluding security forces, yes, okay, we were 20,000.
Quite amazing.
20?
Now go back to to the opening ceremony, because everybody, we see some pictures in the behind. You use very cleverly a masked man and the man on the horse. I think this image was iconic and went through the world. They were, of course, blinded because you could use several of them, I can suppose.
Yes.
What kind of techniques did you use during the show, which were new for this occasion, or you left all the new techniques out of it?
Yes, I think we thought we wanted something, as I told, really live, really close to the theater field, to the live experience, as if the city was a stage.
Yes.
So we wanted to be as close to the live experience as we could.
Yeah.
Totally opposite of what we are supposed to do nowadays.
Yeah.
But I mean, for us, it was really important for Tom and me that we would be really human.
Yes.
It was very important also to say things to the people. On our city hall in France, I mean, we have written everywhere liberty, equality, and fraternity. And for us, this was a time to speak about that, yes.
Yes, we come back to that a little bit later on in the discussion or in the interview. You brought some new techniques like this horse. How do you could train with this horse? Because the Seine River is not closed every day. You didn't want to spoil the moment that the people saw this beautiful thing going on the Seine River. How do you did that?
First of all, we decided to build this horse. Yeah. We didn't tell anyone. We didn't ask for any permission. It was quite expensive,
yes.
to be honest. But I said, I mean, we have something particular.
Yes.
So I said, okay, let's go for it. It was a small company close to Nantes, in the west part of France, and all the tests have been made in the sea.
Yeah, okay.
So it was, I mean, I remember...
It was a seahorse, so to say.
Yeah, it was a seahorse. and I remember the first test, I was sailing boats. Yeah. And they were a little bit astonished to see a horse around them, but I mean, they didn't know what's going on. Okay. So it was okay. And on the river, we did test with the agency, and we did it by night, and the horse was totally covered and hidden.
In black, yes.
Yes.
But there was another novelty over there. You see it in the background of the... This was, of course, the flame. I think you did something extremely extraordinary with it, because these images went around the world, of course. How do you came up with this idea, using a helium balloon, etc., etc.?
This one is a little bit particular because it was the idea came by a designer. Yeah. I mean, the torch designer. He came to see me once, and he said, "I have an idea. Yeah. What do you think if the cauldron will fly?" I said, "Wow."
It's like the story of Stilton before, how you can travel around in the light. You haven't seen it yet. You were a little bit later, but our colleague from Norway is trying to create something where he can walk into the sky. You have to dream. You lived a dream with this thing.
Yes, and he told me the idea, and I say, okay, give it to me. Let's do it together. We're gonna. And I came. It's funny because we came to see the same company that built the horse.
Yes.
And we have asked them, can you do something? And we mixed them with a balloon company, and we said, okay, now we just have to try to keep it secret.
Yes. But how do you keep this secret? It is quite amazing and quite big.
Honestly, we put the balloon on the ground in the middle of the Tuileries garden, and I was sure it's going to be in the newspaper the day after, and none of the journalists find it. I mean, they just saw a round form and just say, "Oh, this is the cauldron," and I was so astonished. But I mean, it was luck, I think.
I think it's one of the greatest images of the show, and it reflects to the
iconic
opening.
Image.
Yes, it reflects to the opening of the World Exhibition where we had those balloons in the first time. 100 years ago.
And honestly, the idea was for the opening, of course, but it was for every day of the games.
Yes.
And I don't know if you've been in Paris last summer, but I mean, every night when the balloon was going up, there was something like 40,000 people there,
Yes.
just waiting for the balloon to go up.
You have your own balloon, like New York City Center has the thing during New Year's Eve, which goes up. You have the balloon in Paris, which you can use for years to come. Yesterday evening, we had a small dinner with some people over there, and you said this Olympic united the people in Paris and France. Could you tell a little bit about that? Because I think events can create a unison experience for everybody. And I think for the people in France and the people in Paris special, you did something very in common.
We tried, and I think it was interesting in terms of symbolic part, that the cordon will light the city and will become another, let's say, another sun. And I mean, with all the symbols, with all that the fire say in the Olympic field, it was for us very important that the whole city see it. Yeah. And I think it was really, it has been a great success.
Yeah. So, may I ask a question? I mean, let's talk about the weather.
Yeah.
The rain, I mean, has been an element that somehow affected the ceremony. The question is, the bad condition, weather condition, were an issue or an opportunity? How did you experience the weather conditions that night?
At the beginning of this day, it was an issue, I can tell you.
Yeah.
When you wake up and when you see, because you had some bad news before, but when you see you're going to have rain all night long, I can tell you this is an issue. And let's talk about statistic.
Yeah.
The day in the year in Paris where you have the less chances to have rain is July 26th.
Yes.
So, I mean, and since day one, everybody was asking me the question, what happens if it's raining? I said, no, it's not going to rain. I mean, that's sure.
Yeah.
And when you see
And
that...
there wasn't a plan B in that case?
No, except the poncho you see there.
Yeah. Now, in Holland, you had a production company called B Production, and they always stated there is always a plan B. You won't be the new next creative director for that company, I suppose. Eh?
No, I will not. I hate this name anyway. No. But to be honest, this is an issue. Of course, we had some plans concerning certain part of the show, but I mean, at the beginning of the day, you take all the team, you go to the crisis room, and you say, now I want to know exactly what decisions needs to be taken all day long. And we were at the command center. Yeah. There was 400 people there. Yeah. And during all the night, I mean, I had to take decision every 10 minutes, more or less, which was to say, okay, what do we do for this show? Do we ask the artist to go on the roof, or do we stay on the ground? And all this decision needs to be taken. But at the end, we had a fantastic opportunity, which was that it gave something epic to the night. Yes, but it gave something epic because for me this is very important, yes. Because all the artists, they say, we're going to go, and we're going to do it. And Céline Dion was the first one. And of course, when your biggest star says, I don't care, I will sing on the Eiffel Tower, under the rain, and nobody will ask me to do something else. Of course, it helps you with all the artists. Yes. And everyone said, we're going to go. Yeah. And of course, it helped us a lot, yes. Because it gave this opportunity. My biggest fear was that the artist would say, okay, I will not do it.
But there was another artist.
Also the athletes maybe had some problems. How did they react?
No, I mean, the athletes, they were so happy to be there. I mean, you don't have very often the opportunity to do an opening ceremony first. and second, to do it in the middle of a city and on a river. So, I mean, the ambience on all the boats was amazing. What they have done is that when they arrived in Trocadero, we have what we call an early departure procedure, like more than what they are used to do came back to the village, and we understand, of course, why. But I mean, for the main part, they were all totally happy to do it.
Yeah, but this lady was pre-recorded, I believe. Is that true?
Yes.
Or did I saw it right?
No, this lady said at the beginning, I will never sing if it's not live.
Yeah.
And the day of the show, 1 hour before the start of the ceremony,
Yes.
we saw that the rain was coming. She wanted to rehearse.
So you recorded that?
Yeah.
So we have decided to rehearse with the audience
Yes.
and to record.
Okay, great.
And once we have done that, and knowing the fact this is a stair and the dancers, it was a little bit dangerous. We decided with her to use the recorded part, but it was live.
I can imagine. There is a specific scene Salvatore has a question about.
Yes.
And maybe some other people as well. Tell me.
Yes,
Salvatore.
the question is that, I mean, the Games in Paris wanted to be as inclusive as possible, no? And for the first time in history, an equal number of men and women participated at the Games. This was also reflected in the ceremony, and but also attracted some criticism about especially the Last Supper scene, no? Where there were drag queens introduced to show the inclusivity of the Games in Paris. Were you ready to face this criticism, or you didn't expect at all?
I mean, this one we didn't expect it really, because it was not the Last Supper.
Yeah.
It was something related to
No,
Dionysos.
I mentioned
feast.
the Last Supper because it's the way it has been called
Yes, but
wrongly.
I mean, you're asking me if we
sure.
were ready to face
Yeah.
it. I said no, because it was not.
Yeah.
And it was something related to Dionysos, which is a god of wine, and a kind of païen, I don't know,
yes.
yeah, païen feast at this time. So of course we were not ready. But I mean, I would like to say, even though I don't see why an artist is not able to talk about the Last Supper, but it was not.
I think it's a perfect example where French people are standing for liberté,
Exactly.
égalité, and fraternité. I think these kind of scenes should be added to these kind of events, and that's an introduction, and then for us all in the hall here to be as clear as possible that these people belong on this stage as well.
And then, yes, you're right. And
Good applause for that.
And to be totally clear, I mean, diversity was key for us. I mean, what is funny with this guy? He's famous in France, not overseas, but he sent us a video, and he said, "Oh, I have an idea. I think I could be naked, and I have written a song called Naked." Yeah. And we found it so interesting and so funny and so poetic. Then we said yes. We didn't say a lot of people what was going on. I mean, perhaps we kept this one a little bit secret.
Okay, with 20,000 people working on the production, keep something a little bit secret. I think that's applause already. But let's finish with a thing which we liked also very much, because after the opening of the Olympic Games, you did the opening of the Paralympic Games. So another monster production, I think. You did it together with a Swedish choreographer, I believe.
With the Swedish choreographers, it was very important for me that one of our ceremony will be done with a European guy. Yeah. I mean, because we always said that we are from Europe, but I mean, we quite. It's not very often that we use and we work with the European guy, so it was important for me. And this one, whose name is Alexander Ekman, I really wanted to work with him. I don't know if you know him, but I mean, he's probably, in my opinion, one of the best choreographers in the world. And it was very important for us to work with him.
Yes, for those people who watched the opening ceremony of the Olympic and haven't seen the opening of the Paralympic game, please look to that as well, because I think in France they put it on the same level as the opening of the Olympic Games, and I think that's a tremendous applause. I think for those people aren't disabled. So please look back to that. But if you are looking back to your incredible journey, which you managed to do, you're still alive. The case is here to win maybe some awards as well. But how do you reflect on your, I would say, masterpiece? Is there something in your mind where you say, okay, this is what this was my dream. I lived my dream for 6 years, and what's next?
I don't know.
If
you have an idea, you'll be welcome. Huh?
Nothing to do with the LA 2028?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that LA is going to go for any other guy, because they were a little bit upset when they saw the first one, the opening of the Olympics. They said, wow. But I mean, we can be confident with the US. I know, I mean, I'm sure they're going to do something tremendous. But I mean, the most important for them, I heard, is that they show to the world that the US can do amazing things either. I'm not so sure they succeed so much with what they have done at the closing. There is a part that has been done by them, which is called the handover.
With the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yes. So, I mean, I know that they are working very hard now.
Yes. Then in 4 years' time, we will see that. But hopefully, I think we will see you back on BEA World in one way or the other, as a creative director or working for a company in Albania. We yesterday discussed. So, just a funny joke between ourselves.
We will surely meet tonight in the award ceremony.
Tonight we will see you again. I will thank Beatrice for bringing Thierry to Rome. A big applause for our colleague. And together with Salvatore, we make a big bow for you.
Yes.
Creating such an authentic thing, and be the privilege to work here tonight for all BEA World to inspire us all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thierry, thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Thierry Reboul.
Thierry Reboul.
Standing ovation. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Facciamo una foto?
He will be here tonight.
Yeah.
Ah, sorry.
Okay.
Great memory. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to everybody. We have talked about the weather, and now we talk about food. We have the break for lunch, and we will meet at 2 o'clock here, and so enjoy the lunch.